What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Smoke and Meteoras, the podcast where we talk about the moments that matter and the struggles talents face on the rise. My name is Marissa, and this week I am joined by none other than Kylon King. Welcome in, Kai. How you doing today, dude?
I'm doing good, I'm just out here riding about. Just sorry, I was supposed to be up here a little earlier, but some stuff happened. Some unfortunate stuff happened that I can't really talk about. But we're here now, and I feel good. Glad to be talking to you.
It's, it's all good. We roll with the punches here. So I start every episode off with the same question, and that question is, what is the dumbest thing you've done for wrestling?
Oh Jesus. The dumbest thing I ever done for wrestling was it was XWA. What's the biggest show called again? Resolution, right? Correct.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was one of the Resolution shows. XWA, um, their last show at the time. They're obviously running shows again. A few
The
shows
one
far in
in
between.
Plymouth?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh
But
shit, I was
I
there for
got
this.
I was driving. This was a ladder match. I had a ladder match to show. I was driving to the
Mm,
show. I was driving to the show, and then as I'm driving to the show, I just happened to get sideswiped off the highway, spun out on the highway,
I
crashing
remember
to the
this.
side of the road, and I'm just like, damn, like I'm XWA champion at something, like dang, like I gotta wait, my car's all messed up. They asked me if I want to go in the ambulance, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna just call somebody up, hit one of the boys up. I was like, yo, I need a ride to the show. I got to defend this belt in the ladder match. And that's what I did. I went there, defended the belt in the ladder match. And I didn't win. I think I didn't win because I got into a car accident that day. But I digress. So, and then the next day, my body was feeling like absolute dog shit, and I couldn't walk, couldn't move, and it's because I got into a car accident and wrestled in a ladder match in the same day. So yeah, yeah.
Did you were you chasing after anything that day or trying to prove a point or just sticking to a commitment?
Just for the love of the game. Strictly for the love of the game. I can't even say anything else. Like just
I
strictly for
mean,
the love of the game.
I know you've done some crazy shit over the years, let's be real here.
Yeah. Yeah. That's probably just the tip of the iceberg of dumb stuff I've done for wrestling or dumb stuff I've done in general. But yeah, that's me. That's me right there.
All right, so let's go back to the very beginning. Before you ever stepped foot in a ring or a training center, what's a wrestling moment from your childhood that stuck with you longer than it should have?
Well, honestly, the first memory I ever remembered, the first thing I can ever remember is wrestling. So, I mean, I will say that it was, I want to say Survivor Series 2002, 2003, one of those, but it was Team Austin versus Team Bischoff. And all I remember for the match vividly is like Shawn Michaels just bloodied, like to like a hope of it in his own blood. It's like he just eliminated Christian, I believe, or Chris Jericho, I believe, and it's just him and Randy Orton at the end of the match, and then Batista came out, screwed him over, all that good stuff. So yeah, that's what I remember. And Team Austin, Team Bischoff's first ever wrestling memory, and then I just been hooked from my whole life. I had all the toys, had all the figures. Yeah, and nobody can tell me nothing. I knew I was gonna be a wrestler. That's it.
So, what did wrestling feel like to you before you even thought about doing it yourself?
Um, the best way can describe it, as I'm wearing my bonnet. I didn't realize I still had this on. But the best way I can describe it is it just give me that feeling of like that feeling of bliss and like joy and yeah, just it's always been there for me my whole life. Like no matter what type of problems I had through my life or whatever down that I had, it was always there to pick me up and put a smile on my face. So um yeah, it's something it's like comfort. It feels like home. That's basically all I can really say.
So, when did you realize it was more than just entertainment to you and it was something deeper?
Um, like I said, it's just been there my whole life, just through all my ups and downs, and it's the only thing that's been consistently in my life since I was like I said, since I was a baby. I mean, it brought my family together. The reason why I like wrestling so much is because, my uncle Jermaine, I mean, and the reason why he likes wrestling is because, my other uncle, John Moore, like it's just a family thing. My whole family loves it, or they grew up watching it. It just brought us all together, and I used to wrestle in our house with him. It's just like I just couldn't get away from it. It was just always there.
So, was there ever a moment where you felt like wrestling understood you more than people did?
Um, uh, to an extent, I guess it's just like it's just something that always resonated with me, like through all the stories, through all the characters, and then just you know, my favorite wrestler, one of my favorite wrestlers, John Cena, is just like his tagline is "Never give up," and just always hearing that, just no matter what I will do, it's just like never give up, never give up, never keep pushing, keep pushing. It's always a marathon, never a sprint. And then, my other favorite wrestler, Eddie Guerrero, sometimes you gotta lie and cheat through life, so that's what I be doing. You gotta get through life somehow. So never give up and lie and cheat still, that's what I gotta do. I mean, those are two guys. So they just resonated with me in my life and my living situation from where I'm from, New Haven, Connecticut. So you just gotta be out there surviving.
So, what made you take that first step instead of just staying a fan?
Honestly, I tell this story a lot, but honestly, I was like at a point in my life where I was like lost and I didn't know really what to do in my life. I just dropped out of college. I was just working in retail, working at Marshalls, just not really doing anything in my life. I mean, uh, and my uncle just talked to me one day, like the my uncle Jermaine, like he's more like a big brother to me, honestly. Like he's the reason why I like everything I like. But he just had to talk to me. I'll never forget it. We were just outside, in the backyard, just talking to me, just like, yo, you need to do something with your life, bro. Like, you can't be like one of us. Like, you gotta go chase your dreams. Like, you gotta go do what you always said you was gonna do. Like, you gotta pursue it. Because if you go down this path, you can just like you're not gonna accomplish anything, right? So he helped me find the school. He basically looked up the school. He's like, no, we're doing this today. Like, looked up the school, called him. I talked to Paul and Mario. And then I told them they had a class that day, and I Ubered over there because I didn't have a car at the time, or at least a car of my own at the time. I was driving my mom's minivan. But I Ubered over there, and then yeah, like the rest is history. I literally opened those doors, and I swear to God, I tell this shit all the time. It was like a euphoric feeling. Like you ever seen like one of them scenes in the movie, you open a door and just light just gaze like on you, like it's like life, like the light is just mad bright, and then you
Like
just
that
hear the sound of
aha
rain.
omen
Yeah,
almost.
like literally, like it's just straight light hitting me in the face. I couldn't even see the ring. It's just, and then you just hear the ring, boom, 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 like hear the ropes running and stuff. Like it's just that's it, bro. Fell in love like all over again. So
So, looking back, do you think you were chasing wrestling or something that wrestling represented?
um, I wouldn't say I was chasing anything. Honestly, it's just like I said, like wrestling just always been there for me. It's just been there. It's just that I wasn't chasing it. I think wrestling was like kind of calling me in a sense, because I used to do mixed martial arts and stuff like that, but every time I was just thinking about like how can I apply this to like what if I become a wrestler and stuff like that. So, uh, but yeah, it was
So,
just like the steady thing in my life, just that like I said, it's always been there and it's always been calling me to just do it, I guess.
what was something training taught you that kind of humbled you quick?
Um, Something that training taught me that humbled me quick. I don't I don't really know because like honestly I was always like pretty humble to like I mean I didn't really have an ego or coming but it's just like I guess it was just like for me, it's just like because I would see people get egos, and then they'll just get stuck in like this in this rut, and they wouldn't progress anymore. So it just, I guess, training taught me just to always like stay humble, stay hungry, always be willing to learn, shut up and listen and watch, and I think that's how I was able to excel so far in my early career, like as far as like training wise goes, and be able to get on shows so quick because I just had that ability to like to learn, and just and always watching what everybody was doing.
So one of the biggest things that I've always told you guys or just anybody in general is to not compare yourselves to others, but it's kind of hard to do that in the very beginning. So did you ever
Absolutely.
feel like you were behind everybody else when you started or at any point?
No, I was honestly, if I'm being quite honestly, no, like I like comparison is the sum of joy, right? So for me, going into wrestling, like I always knew it's like, oh, I'm gonna eat shit. Like you gotta eat shit. You gotta get through shit to get through the highest heights and those get to those moments where you feel accomplished. For me, it was just like always. I was just always learning and always watching. And I try not to compare myself to anybody because like everybody goes at their own pace. Like for me, for example, because I was so willing to learn and just always be able to adapt to situations. I was able to get on shows quicker than a lot of other people, and sometimes it's just other people it took them a lot longer to learn. And but like I said, I'm always learning. Like I'm always still learning. I try not to get in that mindset where it's just like I know everything because I don't. That's just a thing in life. I could never know everything. I'm just always humble and being able to learn new things and new skills because there's, like I said, different flavors of ice cream. There's different types of wrestling. There's different ways to go about doing one thing. You're always going to be able to learn something. You can't just get stuck in that mindset. Well, I know this, so this way is not going to work for me. You never know until you try it.
So what was a mistake that you made early on that you had to learn the hard way?
Um, just like in life or just through wrestling.
Through wrestling.
Um, I guess I would say like um a mistake that I learned is like kind of like not being able to like not that I couldn't make friends at first because I did. I made friends at first, but just like in the beginning, I was just like I said, I was all about my business. Like I would come there and try to learn and just so I can be better and just get better and be able to get on shows. So I guess like I had to learn like just to be more like open and receptive to people, I guess, when I'm even though I'm trying to be about my business, but like, just be able to create relationships with new people and stuff like that because I think that did get me in a little hot water at some time because I was just like so focused on what I was learning through Paul and Mario and through other vets at the time. It just kind of like with my peers, I didn't really get along with them the best at the beginning, I would say.
So who are some of the people that challenged you the most during training and how did it shape you in your career?
Um, well, first and foremost, like Paul, every day, like just every class that we have with him, just always a new challenge, always a new thing. He's like, "Yo, can you do this?" I was like, "I never did it before." They asked if you did it before. They're like, "Can you do it or not?" I was like, "I suppose I can. You want me to do it? I'll do it." Like, so he'll always challenge me, like as far as that. Holiday, whenever he would come to training and stuff like that, he would always teach me, Flash, and Haven a lot of stuff like that. And just challenge us to be better, and progress better. I would say like everybody like my whole circle, a group that I've started with, like Shem, um,
You mean Sean?
Onyx. No, I mean Shem. That's his name. Shem, Onyx, Flash. It's all those guys. Like they, I mean, like especially Flash. Like me and Flash would just be at the school like a lot. We'd be like the first people there, and then be the first people, last people to leave, and it's just always that like that competition between us, just like trying to get better, working with each other, get better, get better, get better, get better, get better. So I would just say those people in the beginning. Oh, Chris Battle doing all this new technical stuff, just challenging you as far as like learning those aspects of wrestling and everything that comes along with that. So yeah, I would say
I
that.
remember when I like first met Flash before you guys had started coming to XWA. I remember Flash was like at training almost every damn night. And
Hmm.
like I know how hard you two have worked, so to see how far you guys have come in even in my own eyes is ridiculous. You guys have gotten so good over the years, and it's one of like the coolest things to see, just to be able to see like the younger guys evolve and kind of watch their whole career throughout.
All right. Yeah, I
So
appreciate that. You know.
you know I got you, Dad. So what does it actually feel like trying to get noticed on the indies?
um, I guess I don't really know. Like for me, like obviously I want to get noticed and become greater, get on a bigger platform. But like for me, it's just like I just go out there, and it's something that I also had to learn. Just I just go out there and just try to wrestle every performance like it's the first time somebody lays their eyes on me. You know, um, so I don't really go into it with like a thought process with, hey, I need to get to this place. I just go in there to like engage with, you know, the fans, you know, whether they want to cheer me, whether they want to boo me. I just go in there like it's my first time ever, you know, wrestling in front of these people, you know, because they don't necessarily know me. And then for them to know who I am and for me to get that notoriety to other places, I just have to, you know, interact with them and get a reaction out of everybody that I'm performing in front of. And, you know, so I guess that's how I'll do it.
So what was a moment where you questioned if all of this was worth it?
Um, I will say, if I'm being completely honest, it really has nothing to do with the wrestling aspect per se, because you know it is a lot. I know a lot of people say the traveling and being gone from your family and stuff like that, but for me, it's like really like I was I was building like a life with somebody, and then it just came to a decision where it's just like you know if it's either me or wrestling in that type of aspect, I guess. And at the end of the day, like I had to sit with that, and I was like, because I really love this person, and I really want to be with this person. But at the end of the day, if I give up on the thing that always been in my life, this whole like everything that's always been there for me and got me through a whole bunch of trials and tribulations, and I feel like I would just be giving up on myself. So I guess that's a time that really like made me sit and like, is it all worth it to be like to leave this and just be with this person, this who's, you know, not guaranteed that's gonna work out, but I know wrestling is always gonna be there for me no matter what. So I just kind of like I just I just came down to a decision. I just couldn't give up on myself, you know, and I just had to keep on going and doing the wrestling. I just had to, unfortunately, like, you know, leave that person behind me, I guess. So
So when did things really start feeling like they were falling into place for you?
um I can't really say because like for me, I think like, you know, things are still kind of falling into place, you know, every day. Like I'm not gonna, I don't want to feel like I'm where I want to be because I'm really not. But I guess like, you know, what's really started the journey was you know, when me and Flash like started teaming, I guess, you know, like because we was both doing our own thing, you know, like it was like we won singles titles and stuff like that at places and stuff. We started making a name for ourselves like during COVID, you know, that's when everything slowed down and everybody stopped, you know, wrestling because they didn't want to get sick or be around, you know, people and stuff like that. They were scared, obviously, for good reasons. But that's when that happened, that would give people like me and Flash and E.G. Bond and Haven, the opportunity, Elijah Sticks, the opportunity to take over, like gain the news crop of guys and just become these new guys in New England. And then once we got um the notarization from Beyond, they hit us up after me and Splash was teaming for like literally a cup of coffee. They actually do discovery gallery because we was going to the shows every day, I mean every week, for uncharted territory, just helping out and stuff like that. And then we got that call, and then I guess the rest is history. We beat Brick City in the discovery gauntlet. We had like a sick match of the year candidate with against ATR for the finals. And Wrestling Open started. It's just like the ball just kept rolling and rolling and rolling, and then you just felt like I couldn't be stopped. You're just unstoppable. So I guess that would be the moment.
So, what is a match or a moment throughout your career that changed how you saw yourself?
Um, I guess um, I guess you can say like multiple matches or multiple moments. Um, the first one, I guess that I would say, I can pick three. I'll pick three just off the top of my head. The first one was when I first wrestled Christian Casanova when I was XWA champion. I won the belt from oh my God, why am I having brain fart? Oh my God.
I was
Oh
there
my
for
God.
this too, and I'm blanking.
Mike Verna. Yes, I won the
Yes.
belt from Mike Verna. Um, And then literally the next week I get a call. It's like, yo, congratulations from Christian. He's like, yo, congratulations, bro. I'm gonna be like, yo, I'm next up. I was like, all right, we're whatever. I think he just talking, whatever, because he's a big name and stuff like that. And I met him a few times and got to interact with him. Seems cool. He was giving me advice. So then I see the card and it's like it's me versus Christian Casanova. I'm like, oh shoot, like this is legit. This is real. And when I'm in that moment or like in that zone, it's just like okay, like this is it right here. And then we went out there, like it's a big challenge for me. Went out there and then just, I felt like I could say in that moment I was able to like, hang with him and, it just gave me a lot of confidence to be able to do that. Another moment is when oh Jesus, me and Flash went against Haven at at Beyond at Wrestling Open, Summer Stunner, because it was a lot of emotions going into that match behind the scenes. It was just a lot of emotions, and the culmination of that was that match, and we just put our all into it, and it still gives me goosebumps just thinking about it, just like that euphoric feeling of like the crowd just being behind everything and just rocking with us, and like I said, just that's a match I'll never forget. And then the third one, it can go either of two ways. But for me, I'm gonna say like for me when I went against Leo Rush, um, like I literally 19 minutes and 59 seconds, almost won a 20-minute time limit draw, like in the main event of at Wrestling Open. And yeah, just showing the world that I can hang with some of the best of them. So yeah, I mean those moments right there. And then just honorable mention, probably the match at America Rana against Rebecca and Aaron. Just showing that why we are, all four of us are some of the best young talents in the game. So
That
yeah.
match is actually like my favorite match of yours.
Oh, thank you.
And going back to Leo Rush, because I know you were scheduled in the past to wrestle Leo Rush, and it unfortunately didn't happen. But
Yeah,
eventually down the road, it did with Wrestling Open and Beyond. But do
yeah.
you think that fate kind of took a toll on that, and maybe you weren't exactly in the right choose, I guess we can say, to fight Leo at that time,
Um,
or
I always say like for me everything happens for a reason. Like I do believe in that. And then maybe the time wasn't right for me then to wrestle Leo, but it also things come back around, and I was able to have the opportunity to wrestle Leo Rush, and then it was a phenomenal match, I would say. One of the highlights of my career personally, and I learned so much from him. It was just being there and just finally be able to get that match and everything so like that. So yeah, I would say it was. I would say like everything happened for a reason. I mean, and if things are meant to be, they will come back to you just like how that match did.
so is there a match that you wish you could go back and do differently?
No, I don't. I would say, no. Everything happens for a reason. If the match didn't go a certain type of way that I wanted it to go, like then I wouldn't have learned, from that experience, right? So I wouldn't change anything for the world. Like I said, everything happens for a reason. May I have some regrets or like some reserves on how things played out? Maybe, but at the same time, but I wouldn't have learned whatever the lesson might have been from those encounters.
So when did you feel like you became Kylon King instead of someone just trying to wrestle?
Um, I don't know. I would say like kind of I kind of always been me. Like it's not like I changed anything or like me personally. I don't feel like it's just like just I feel like over time I evolved and able to have a better understanding of who I am as a person and just learn more about myself because I was always that person. It's just I just had to find that and gain the experience and stuff like that. So I wouldn't say like it was a really a moment like, oh aha, like I found out who I am finally. It's just like even now, like I'm still learning, I'm still growing. Um I'm still becoming a better version of myself, through all the lessons, through all the trials and tribulations that I go through a daily life. I'm just figuring out who I am every day.
So what parts of yourself show up in your character?
Um, I wouldn't even say it's really a character. I'm just me. At the end of the day, like
Yeah.
I'm just me. Like if you know me, you know. Like that's all I can say. Like me. Like there's really no difference. I mean, I am who I am to a fault. I mean, that's who I am.
I mean, I've said it since day one, you are a wild child. Your personality shows that through and through. And every time you take a suicide dive, I swear you're gonna kill yourself because you just run full force and you're just like going so quick. But that's
Nah, I could,
just
I
you as
could,
it is.
yeah, I could. I mean, like I said, I try to give things like as much of as effort as I can, like try to do everything with full force, and just live in those moments. I mean, that's just how I go, like 1,000 miles per minute. Feel me?
Yes. So, so what have you had to let go of or sacrifice to grow into this version of yourself?
people, like I told you earlier before, there was a special person in my life, and I still consider them a special person in my life, but I just couldn't make a decision where I had to choose them over myself, essentially. I really had to just choose me and do things that I wanted to do with my life, you know.
So, how has your mindset changed from when you first started wrestling?
Um, how has my mindset changed? I will say that The older I got, the more mature I got as far as like um just the way I think and the way I was able to be able to move and stuff like that. So um yeah, I would just say like my mindset just being more aware of things, more aware of how I treat people and stuff of that matter. And just being able to teach people the lessons that I learned so they don't have to make the same mistakes, you know.
What do you want people to feel when they watch you now?
Um, I want them to feel anything, whatever feeling I give them. I just want to give them a feeling um of happiness, sadness, anger, whatever feeling that they choose to feel about me. I don't care as long as they feel something, you know.
My bad, that was a first. So,
We
what do
still
you
on?
feel? I'm sorry, what? What did you say, Kai?
Hello? I can't hear you. I can't hear
Oh,
you.
God. Can you hear me now? You're muted now. What the heck? Can you hear me now? Oh, jeez. Technical difficulties, y'all. Don't mind us. Give me 2 seconds.
Hold on, I can't hear anything you're saying. Hold on. Let me try to leave and come back.
I mean, it's showing that my volume is here. I don't know if any of you guys are viewing. Can you comment if you can hear me? This is odd. This has never happened before. Let's try doing this. Is it work? It's showing my levels are working. Give him a chance to pop back in. Sorry about this, guys. I need to start making a technical difficulty slide when stuff like this happens. Let me double check. I'm sorry if you guys hear any feedback. I'm worried you can't hear me.
Are we here?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, all right.
I'm just letting you know it might get loud. I'm about to get my hair done, so I'm just letting you know.
You're all good. So, what do you feel separates you from everyone else trying to rise right now?
Hmm, what separates me from everybody else? My willingness to do anything, and anything to make somebody feel something. I guess whether that be me doing reckless things to myself or to my opponents, or just being able to connect with people on a certain level that other people can't. I think that's my ability.
What would you tell someone who is early on in the wrestling business right now who's trying to make a name for themselves?
Um, just dare to be different. There's nothing wrong with being different. Um, it's you actually should be different. And then just be always have that willingness to learn and do whatever it takes to get to where you want to get to.
So, what are some of your short-term goals between now and the end of the year that you're looking to accomplish, whether that be certain opponents you want to face or new promotions you want to debut for?
I would love to like debut in a different country. I wanna wrestle in a different state this year. Obviously, there's a whole bunch of promotions that I would love to wrestle for. Um, I want to go to Texas this year. Obviously Japan, and I should be making that dream a reality this year, relatively soon. And I think I just want to just win more gold. Get more accomplishments under my belt. Uh, make a better name for myself as a singles wrestler. Because a lot of people know me for the tag stuff. So just want to get out that box a little bit more. Not that I don't love tag because I do love tag and that's my bread and butter, but I just want people to know like that I can do the singles things too because every time I do it, it always like, oh wow, I didn't know you was like that. So, I mean, yeah, I'm a different person, different breed when I'm by myself. So yeah, I would say that those are some goals.
And at this stage in your career, what does progress or even success look like to you?
Um, I would say every day I'm able to get up and just chase, you know, forward, take a step forward to be my ultimate dream, which is like taking care of my family, doing the thing I love, which is wrestling. So every day I get to wake up is an opportunity from God. Praise God for every breathing breath I take. So that's what I would say.
Well, that is all the beefy questions I got for you, but these are the really, really important ones, all right?
Okay, I'm ready.
So, you're booked on a show that only has access to Disney, Nickelodeon, or Cartoon Network songs. What is your new entrance theme?
Hmm. Hmm. I would say "Let It Shine" by Demi Lovato. Yep,
All right.
yep. Let it,
All right.
Let it shine from me. Demi Lovato.
So, you are on a road trip after a show. What is the absolute go to food stop?
Unfortunately, this is not my choice. If I had another choice, it would be something different. But most of the time, it's the only thing that's open, and that is McDonald's. You know,
That is definitely
that is
Flash's
that is that is
choice.
that is that is unfortunately McDonald's. If I had a choice, I would like Chipotle is right there, but most of the time, Chipotle be closed. But McDonald's right there. I get me a little snack wrap. A little couple snack wraps, no sauce, and then I put barbecue sauce up there. Chop down, yum yum yum. Yum.
So, what is a safe to share with the public chaotic road trip moment that you've been a part of?
So it was a Let's Wrestle show. We come from Maine. The car is me, Flash, and Haven. Jay and Shim. Um, and Shim is driving. We're driving Shim's car, right? So we're driving. We're doing our thing. And then I think it was me who was like, I'm like, yo, it's starting to smell like burnt rubber. It's like, yo, what's that? What's that smell? And it's Jim's car starting to like, rot and stuff, shake. And we get off, we get out the car. We're in the middle of nowhere, by the way, in the middle of nowhere in Maine on the highway. Um, and he has a flat tire. He's like, oh, okay. I was like, all right, bro, let's put your donut on so we can get on the road. He's like, that is the donut. I'm like, what do you mean that is the donut? He's like, yeah, I put the donut on like a couple of days ago. I was like, what do you mean you put bro, the donut is for like short term uses, you know? Why were you driving on a donut for a couple of days if you didn't get a spare tire? I mean, we had to deal with that. Um, we figured out a way to get somewhere safe off the highway to like a stop. They was closed. We couldn't do anything to get a tire, so we all had to just sleep our sweaty asses, in the car. We had to miss our shows the next day because we had to change the tire on his car. And we just slept. We all four of us just slept in the car. Yeah. So that was a moment a chaotic moment that I would share. And I wouldn't change it for because I was with all four of my brothers. I mean, all three of my brothers. And as crazy as it sounds, those are the moments that bring people together. So we're closer. As stupid as it might be.
So you are now creating a new faction that cannot include Flash or the Haven, and you have to include a female. Who is your new faction?
I will say Becca because she's my favorite. She's my favorite female wrestler. I love Becca. Everything she does. She's my favorite female wrestler. I
On
will
Becca, on God.
say I will say man, faction. I think. Uh, you know, Big Boofa. I mean, Devin Cole. That's my guy. My geysers. My guy, Big Boofa. Get well soon. Come back to wrestling soon. Um, and then I will say, I'm trying to think of a tag team. You know, um, I will say MSP because those are some of my favorite opponents that I ever wrestled in wrestling. They taught us a lot. So I'm gonna just say MSP. MSP.
Right.
That's my faction right there. Weird faction, yeah, but we're gonna have a lot of fun wrestling.
And you are now stuck on another road trip, but you can only listen to 5 bands or artists. Who are we listening to?
Um, we're gonna go with Paramore. I love Paramore. Paramore's cool. I love their songs. I love the vibes they give off. J. Cole, he's like probably one of my favorite artists of all time. J. Cole. Um, we're gonna go with um, we're gonna go with Nas. Another one of my favorite artists of all time. We're gonna go with let's get some R&B in here. R&B, R&B. Thanks too many good R&B artists. Let's say Usher. Usher. I can listen to Confessions, that whole album,
We
on
have
repeat. I mean, on repeat, no problems. And then hmm, hmm, hmm. Michael Jackson because he has no misses. All bangers, all
all
bangers.
right, all right. Well, we have reached promo roulette time. So let's hop right on into that.
Probably gonna make you do a promo. I'm getting my hair done. It's crazy.
All right. So I decided we're going to change things up. And although. Ooh, are you still there, Kai?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, your camera went away again. But it's all good. So, last week, Don Freeze did choose a can of ravioli for you, but I'm going to apologize to him because I'm deciding we're going to switch things up with his promo roulette. I'm going to start changing it to cartoon characters, and if I know anything about Kylon, I know Kylon likes One Piece. So I personally picked this character, and I'm going to have you do a promo on Kato.
Kato, Kato,
If I'm saying his name right, you always make fun of me for saying it wrong.
Kato. Who the fuck is Kato, yo?
Kato or Arlong, if that's a name that makes sense. I don't know. I googled this shit. All right, man. I suck.
I think you mean Kaido. Kaido.
Okay, all right. Yes, I'm saying it wrong. You guys always make fun of me for saying it wrong, man. She made fun of me for saying some Dragon Ball Z character wrong like years ago, and he never let me live it down.
Oh my god.
This is what happens. You don't teach me right, Dad. You don't teach me these things.
Hello, were you just trying to FaceTime
I
me?
can't. Oh my god. Um.
Well, now that you know who the hell I'm talking about.
He was probably trying to connect you in. Okay. No problem.
Go ahead, keep laughing at me. Go ahead. All right, you good?
Well, listen here, Kato. I mean, I think you the king of beasts. You ain't the king of shit. Cause the one true king is right here, and I'm gonna whoop that ass. So I'll see you in let me see, in Wano country. So I can take the gold, the whole land. I can't even think right now. Like you said, Kato. I can't think right now because you said Kato. Yeah, but yeah, Kano, you're a bitch, and I'm gonna take the land back and free the villagers. That's my promo.
All right, man.
That's
Well,
my promo.
I'm still
My
gonna.
promo on Kano.
Shut
Kano, the
up.
king of beasts.
All right.
Oh my god.
Well, we have another guest for next week, and I'm still gonna stick with letting the guests pick the character. So I need a cartoon character for next week's guest.
Who's your guest next week?
Next week's guest is gonna be none other than Johnny Pierce.
Johnny Pierce. All right, Johnny Pierce. Your promo. You're gonna cut a promo on. You're gonna cut a promo on. I'll give it something easy. You're gonna cut a promo on Mordecai and Rigby from regular show. That's what your promo's on.
All
Good
right.
luck, pal. Hopefully it's better than mine. Because she said Kato and I couldn't think straight. What the fuck is a Kato?
I'm never gonna live this down now. Great.
Oh my god.
I don't
That's
watch
so
One
good.
Piece, man. All right.
You should. It's it's
I
one of the
know.
greatest animes of all time. So
All
get on
right.
that. Get on that.
Well, that is everything that I have for you this week, Kai. So, with that being said, where can we find you in the next coming weeks? And if you are not in our area, where can we keep up with you on social media?
I'm almost always on open Mondays or Thursdays. You can catch me there. And this Friday, I will be at wrestling with characters wrestling against Sammy Diaz. I mean, for the umpteenth time. And we're going to put on a banger. We're going to steal the show. And I'm going to whoop that ass. So, see you there.
And your socials?
My social, you can follow me on Twitter because I'm not calling it X. That's dumb. Follow me on Twitter at Little Kylon, LittleKylon, and on everything else, King Kai 0610.
All right. Well, that is everything that I have for you this week. Thank you so much for joining us, Kai.
Thank
And
you for having me.
a little bit of office work. I had been saying on socials that I had a big announcement to make, and that announcement is not only did you get one episode this week, but you are getting 2 episodes because on Saturday I will be attending the Big Event Expo in Long Island, New York, and we will be sitting down with none other than the daughter of the Dynamite Kid, Bronwyn Billington. So we will be here Saturday at 11 a.m. if service is decent out there, hopefully live with her, and we will also be back next week at 7 p.m. with Johnny Pierce. So with that,
Fire.
this is Marissa signing off. Thank you all the viewing at home. We will catch you next week and on Saturday. Have a great night.
Adios.